Hi and welcome to another video from Natasha Lee. Now this one's a little different and you're in my bedroom. You're also going to be in some other places that I haven't filmed in before. This one's a little different and you're in my bedroom. But that's because every single week that I do a video where I show myself in it, you guys have started asking, what are my hair care secrets? How do I get my hair so shiny? What colours do I use? What are the little tips and techniques and the different products that I use? So finally I've got around to filming this one for you, and I'm going to show you everything, including how I wash my hair in the shower, what I use when I wash my hair in the shower, what extras I actually use on my hair, and the products I use before I blow dry and straighten, and how do I do those things to prevent too much damage and to make my hair nice and glossy and shiny. So I'm going to show you all of that and I hope you enjoy it. I always begin by pre-washing my hair, and this is my favourite shampoo. I find it absolutely fantastic for when I suffer from a dry scalp. And after a quick pre-wash and a rinse, I apply a second load of shampoo and give this a really good lather up. You can see this really does lather up very well after that initial pre-wash. Rinse it out, and then I go in with my Mythic Oil cream. Now this can be used either as a conditioner or as a balm before blow drying your hair, but I actually like to apply this first from root to tip and get it nice and all the way through my hair before I go straight in over the top with my favourite Fuji green tea conditioner from the Body Shop. Now I haven't rinsed off that Mythic Oil first, I've left it in the hair and gone over the top with the conditioner. If I have time, I like to give the hair a quick comb to make it nice and smooth. Most of the time I don't have time though, to be honest. And then I very quickly clip it up, and that's just to give the conditioner some time to work its way through the hair while I wash or exfoliate. Then I rinse my hair thoroughly, squeeze out the excess water and put it up in a towel. When you're ready to blow dry your hair, take the towel out and you'll see my hair naturally is actually really sort of wavy and curly, but it goes a bit crazy. So first I go in with my Mythic Oil, and this is the Radiance Oil. Now I've done 2 squirts for my hair. My hair is quite thick and long. It doesn't need much at all. This bottle has lasted me absolutely ages. And as you can see, I've rubbed it between my hands and I'm working it through the hair very, very thoroughly. Now this is my absolute, this is my absolute favourite brush. I love this one. My one is actually really battered now, and this hairdryer is schmazing. Absolute schmazing. And I'm first going to go in and I'm just doing something called a blast dry. Now I have the hairdryer set on high and on the highest speed, and I'm just giving it a really good blast dry through to get rid of the excess dampness. I then give it a quick brush before I section the hair, and I do my hair in thirds. So I start first with a section which is just above the ears, and then I twist it up into a bun. As you can see here, I do a bun because it keeps it out the way and doesn't tend to catch. And then I always have crocodile clips with me in the shower and when I'm blow drying my hair, and I just hold it up out the way. Again, I have my hairdryer on the highest setting for heat and the highest setting for speed, and I'm using my favourite brush here. And using the wide nozzle on the hairdryer and pointing that dryer down, not towards the head but down. That helps to keep the cuticles on the hair. Yes, hair does have cuticles too. And it helps to keep them all nice and flat, which gives that nice shiny effect on your hair. If you imagine it, it's almost like scales, and it's sort of if you want that nice look on a snake where it's all smooth, all the scales go the same direction. If you start being rough with your hair or blow drying it the wrong way, it will force the scales up and it makes your hair look dull, it starts to get a bit knotty and tatty and things like that. So what we're doing is we're not wanting to focus too much heat on the hair and keeping it there. So you can see I run the brush with the dryer on the hair quite quickly through the hair. And that's because we do not want to actually burn that hair. I do this every time I blow dry my hair, so I need to make sure that I'm trying to look after it as much as I possibly can. You might have to move the nozzle on your hairdryer to make it more comfortable when you go from each side of the head, but you can see this is really quick. When it comes to the back, I just do the underside very quickly. You can't really see what you're doing, it's left a little bit of a kink in the back, but it doesn't matter because we'll be covering it up in a moment. My GHDs broke about 3 weeks ago and I'm devastated, so these are like a £25 set from Amazon until I can sort something out with my GHDs. Now I prefer to use a comb when straightening my hair, and I put the comb down the hair first, closely followed by the straightener. However, if you don't have a suitable comb, and I haven't got my favourite one here, you can actually use the brush that you've blow dried with. I just prefer the perfection of the comb. And you can see I try not to go over the same bit of hair too much. I tend to go twice over the hair, I keep the straightener moving very quickly, and I follow normally behind the comb. That's because we don't want to keep the heat on one part of the hair for too long. Once you're happy with that first layer, I'm going to section the top a bit, and I'm going to bring down about 1/3 of it again and leaving the very top or the crown of my head. Once you've done that first bit of hair at the bottom, this does go very quickly. I can do my hair in about 11 minutes, so you can tell it really doesn't take that long, and my hair is quite thick now. Again, just section up the hair and then clip it into place. Give your hair a quick brush through, and that's just to get it sleek before you blow dry. And we're just going to go straight back in with the sectioning and the brush. Now I just have to turn that nozzle again because I'd left it from the other way around. But you can see I'm just picking up the damp hair over the brush. Now when I wiggle, that's to avoid getting a line in the hair. I found it's the best method for me to stop you having that kink in your hair which you can see from when you've blow dried. I keep just quickly picking up the top sections of hair that are damp before I go through the whole lot again. You can see by using this method with the hairdryer and the brush, it really does eliminate the need for hardly any straightening at all. And already the hair is looking very glossy because we're keeping that hairdryer pointed down, which helps to keep the actual shaft of the hair looking sleek and shiny. Repeat exactly the same on the other side, and you will find one side of your head is easier to do than the other. That's just because normally I have a preference for being right or left-handed. Now you can see here I forgot to wiggle my hairdryer, I think because I was so busy trying to focus that you could see, and I put a kink into the hair. If you do that, just try and get really close to those roots and actually put the brush under and lift the brush up, pulling those roots away before you wiggle the hairdryer over it and then brush down, and you can see you get rid of that kink out your hair. By slowly bringing the nozzle towards the hair, it eliminates that risk that you're going to actually put a mark or a line in the hair. And you can see I just brush in between. It might sound a bit complicated, but I can promise once you've done this a couple of times, it becomes second nature. For the back of the hair, just lift it up, try and get your brush underneath. It doesn't have to be perfect. And just try and run that dryer over it. It's just to help a little bit. Again, then I'm just going in with the straighteners, and I try to do mainly the top bit of hair that I've just dried, just to try and avoid putting the straighteners through all of my hair all of the time. I don't want to add too much heat damage. I also don't like using heat protector sprays generally because they tend to contain a lot of silicons and things like that, and that can build up and make your hair dull and difficult to manage over time. If you find your hair looks a bit frizzy towards the end, then just pick up your straighteners and just do that bit towards the end, and it tends to actually smooth down any split ends or any flyaways. I also get very, very fuzzy around the front of the hair where I have what I call baby hair. Finally, take down that top section and just give it a brush. And I'm just going to show you here that because I actually suffer from polycystic ovary, I struggle with receding hairline at the side there. Now, something I found that has really helped, and this is not sponsored, is the Sugar Bear hair vitamins. I've now been taking them for about 2.5 months and the difference is unbelievable. However, I did approach them and ask if I could have any discount codes for you guys or anything for a giveaway, and unfortunately the answer was no, but apparently there is an offer running in the US at the moment where you can get a discount on 3 or 6 months worth, I think it is. So do check that out, but it's not available to us here in the UK, unfortunately. However, I will say this, they are well worth the money in my opinion. Not only is my hair growing back for the first time ever since my early 20s, but the bald spots in my eyebrows that I previously had microbladed are disappearing at a rapid rate. My hairdresser even commented that my hair has suddenly gone really thick, and I'm hardly losing any hair in the shower compared to normal. Obviously these are working for me, I can't say that they'll work for you, but it's worth checking them out and see how you feel about them before you start taking them. Also make sure that you're not allergic to any of the ingredients and ask for professional advice before starting taking any new vitamins or supplements. With that bit said, what I'm just doing is brushing through the top and then using my fingernail, ironic, to actually put my parting in, and I have a side parting just because I find it suits my face shape better, I feel more comfortable with it, and it does actually cover my receding hairline from my polycystic ovary. Give a blast dry over the top, and what I do here is I blow dry towards the front. So I'm pushing that hair from the side of my head forwards, and that's so you don't end up with a huge load of slaphead forehead really. By blow drying it forward, you tend to get that sleeker sort of look, that sort of sexy Kardashian look if they were ginger and short and Welsh and chubby. Just give it a good blow dry. We're doing exactly the same thing again. I do spend a little more time, to be honest with you, when it comes to this final bit, because this is the bit you really notice. This is like the skin on the skeleton. Ew, that sounds really gross. How does my brain come up with this stuff? Keep going with your hair, and you can just see because it's starting to dry at the top and I've had it tied up, it's a little frizzy, but it really doesn't matter. A couple of goings over with the hairdryer and it'll be absolutely fine. Just be careful when you're doing this and picking up the hair that sometimes the hair can be very hot and it can take you by surprise when you're picking it up. I then like to just go through the entire thickness of the hair to smooth it down. Again, we're taking that bit on the top of the head and we're just giving it a quick blast right the way through. And then just going over the top to smooth it out. Again, we're going to straighten and we're just doing the final bit of the hair here. Mainly I use my straightener just to remove any flyaway look, just to make the whole finished look sleeker. Check that you haven't missed any bits. If you have, I always get a bit frizzy around the ears underneath. Just watch your ears and your neck when you're doing this. I have burnt myself in the past. And when you're happy, you are done. The only extra product I sometimes add onto the top here is a little squirt of hairspray just to hold down any of the flyaways. Now, with regards to my hair colour, I have it done by my best friend who is a professional hairdresser. These are the colours that she uses, however, these are based on my natural hair colour, which is very, very close to what it currently is. I just have my hair coloured for an extra boost, as I'm getting older, it's actually going darker because I'm a natural auburn. So I hope that video has been useful for you. Please ask me any further questions in the comment section down below. Please also remember that if you are going to colour your hair at home, please use box products that are meant for home colouring. Don't use professional products unless you have a professional with you to do it. I've linked all the products in the description down below. I need to say a big thank you to Tracy Shash for becoming my latest Natasha Lee VIP. And if you want to become a Natasha Lee VIP and support the channel, then there's a link in the description, or head on over to natashalee.vip where there's a range of tiers and rewards for you. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you've enjoyed this video, please let me know if you want to see more like it. If you want to see more nail art and things like that, then please hit the subscribe button, and next to it there's a teeny tiny little bell. If you hit that, it will notify you when I upload. Thank you, everyone, and if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I will see you all very, very soon.